SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com.
Since the dawn of civilization, the elusive quest in pursuit of the perfect drink continues to evolve. Now more than ever, we reap the rewards of this passion. The perfect vintage, the finest brew, or a spirit of optimum age and class. And now, SoFloRadio.com invites you to discover the wonderful world of booze by the glass.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to By the Glass. I'm your host, Brett Hubbard, welcoming you to explore another wonderful edition of By the Glass Show. We are a show about beverage culture, coming to you every Thursday at 6 o'clock on SoFlo Radio and ByTheGlassShow.com. I am joined by my producer here, Ivan Bad.
Yes, I am.
All right, we got Daily Beer Review. Rob's in the house, resident beer man.
What's up? Woohoo!
Chris Dickerson, South Florida rep for Big Storm Brewing Company.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, brother. Hopefully it wasn't too hard to find.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, big storm today, right? Was it like a precursor to the show? What do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, the rain was just pouring down.
Ordered it up. I'm glad because I had a lot of work to do.
Giant thunder.
Couldn't go to the beach today anyway, so I'm really glad when it rains, when I have work to do.
That's a great
that's my new
excuse.
thing,
Do you
yeah.
have like a hatful of excuses and you just pull one out? Oh,
Just,
rain today. Couldn't
Rain,
do
I
any work.
gotta do the work.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Well, Big Storm Brewery is in the house now. The Big Storm Brewing Company is located off the State Road 54, Odessa, Florida. Mike Bishop started his crazy beer ventures in 2012 with a few pennies and the inspiration to fill the craft beer void in Pasco County. Chris, have you been to Pasco County? Are you from that part of the world somewhat?
I am not.
Okay.
But I
Have you
have been to
visited?
Pasco County.
Is there a craft beer void up there, or there used to be?
We are the only craft brewery We're the only brewery in Pasco County.
Why don't you explain to everybody kind of where that is in proximity to a big city so we can kind of understand
It's
their minds?
it's about 20 minutes north of Tampa, so it's near Trinity.
I used to go and dive in the Crystal River and look for manatees because they swim around there, and it's like 70 degrees all year long. So they come in, and it's actually the craziest
What do you
thing.
do when you find them? What do you do with manatees, man?
They ride them. They
I
ride
can tell
them.
you,
Is it
but I
like
have
cow
to tell you.
tipping in Florida?
You know, you got your little your little joke. I was reared
Yeah.
in the South. Well, just to use your mind.
No, wow. They don't move that fast, I understand.
Well, they do call them sea cows now. Well, the sailors used to think they were mermaids.
Yeah, that's because they drank salt water. They were
Absolutely.
And
delusional.
that's scurvy.
But it's an interesting part of the world, and a good craft brewery in a place where there's just a void of quality beer, it makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure Bishop is the kind of guy that has the vision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He likes being in Pasco County because we're the only ones in Pasco County, and they treat us well, and the focus is on us.
Absolutely, and focus is what it's all about. Guys, recently, about 6 months ago, went through an expansion there to increase production. Does that tell me that sales are good?
Absolutely. The reception was so great in Tampa that Bishop decided it was a good idea to expand, and we're pretty much statewide in Florida right now. We're kicking off market after market, and everything's going well. The reception's been fantastic in South Florida. We've only been down here a couple months.
That's fantastic. Now, you tell me that you basically have gotten just into Jacksonville recently, and also the only place you're not is the Panhandle.
As far as I know, yeah, I know we're looking at the Panhandle, but it's coming
Don't
soon.
even bother with the Panhandle. That's what I've heard. Right? What do you think, Rob?
Same thing as Alabama, baby.
You know what I mean? It's like people that are just like, yeah, I think we'll stop right about here in Tallahassee.
Just chop that off and give it away.
No, but I mean, there's some good people in Pensacola, and what's that other city up there? I don't even know. There's Pensacola and Fort Walton Beach or something like that.
Beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Panama City's fun.
Panama City. There you go. Pensacola and Panama City. It is, and Panama City Beach is a lot of fun. I love the sand up there. It's gorgeous. I've done some vacationing up there. Not during Memorial Day, but absolutely. So Bishop says that the Florida craft scene is, it's blowing up. It's huge. What are some of your views on that? I mean, you've been in the industry quite some time. How have you seen things change recently?
Well, I definitely see it going towards the locals.
Yeah.
The more I go into accounts, talk about local beers, the more excited people get. And they say there's definitely customers asking for local beers. I mean, obviously we get so many vacationers down here they want to drink what they can't drink at home, and they
Right.
want to try, what Florida has going for it. And Florida's getting a lot of press lately for interesting beers and different styles, and just kind of expanding people's knowledge in beer.
Yeah, and living somewhat on the coast, the west coast of Florida, I guess that's where the inspiration for the big storm comes from. I mean, hey, it's what it's all about, right? Those big storms that roll on in, right? I guess that he'll be calling in pretty soon, and we'll be talking to him about where he got the name from and more about the beer styles themselves. What do you think? I mean, quintessential beer styles, the ones that you always start with. Did you guys cover all the bases with the first ones that they started making here, style-wise?
I think we covered the important styles. Our first beer was the Wavemaker Amber. Amber's a very introductory craft beer. Anybody can drink them. That's kind of Big Storm's philosophy is balanced, easier drinking beers, something that anybody can drink and enjoy. So, a good amber, it doesn't have too much hops to scare people off. It's just nice and balanced.
Right.
And then after that, we came out with our IPA. It's called Arcus IPA. It's actually made with local Florida honey.
Really?
The honey comes from right down the road from the brewery, and it gives it a nice, sweet finish.
Honey's tough. Honey's one of those things. And we've had a couple of media guys on. I've had last week we were just live. We did a live broadcast from American Brew Fest over at America's Backyard. We did it for American Craft Beer Week, and it was a pretty good event. And go to my website, By the Glass Show, and you can see the interview with Tom Mensch where he talks about honey and what he's incurring with honey right now. It's not an easy product to work with as far as because bees are dying off.
Yeah, there's definitely there's a bee shortage in the country, but luckily we've got a nice supply in Pasco County.
Good. Oh, really? Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. No, what's funny is we did. I can't remember exactly what it was we did. There was like some kind of strawberry festival right around there. Is that right around
Plant
there?
City? Plant City Strawberry Festival is a pretty big deal up in that area.
And there was a lot of bees in that general vicinity
yeah, they
as
have
well.
to, I think, pollinate the strawberry.
I don't know where I remember that from. It might have been some flavored vodka. It's in the back of my mind, but I remember it was tying in with the whole thing. George, you remember that, right?
Yeah, no, it did have to do with flavored vodka, and yeah, they addressed the bee shortage. And,
It's absolutely unbelievable. But,
the beekeepers are auctioning off their services and their bees now. To that.
Hey honey, is there any beer?
Honey beer.
Hey, honey, any beer? Yeah, absolutely. So we want to thank Mr. Chris Dickinson. He's a South Florida rep, by the way. He went around and got us some growlers full of beer. So
Oh, yeah?
I mean, yeah, so we could try some.
Where are
But
they?
We'll kick one off. What do you think we should start with, Chris?
I think we should start with the Wavemaker. It's our
Okay.
first beer we came out with, so it'll
in
be
the
the first
fridge?
beer we try.
All right, so maybe Bishop wants to call in now. It's cool. Talk to me, George, about we got something special and new for the show.
Yeah, we have the ability to get some glasses over there. I would say second shelf. There's
Those
two.
are two are good, and then we
And
grab
now
a
we need
couple
two more.
Yeah.
Second shelf there, from the top. Yeah, there's glasses there, Rob, on the left. There's more.
Top left.
there's-
Rob,
no,
top left. There you go. Here you go.
But there's yeah.
Get out
there's-
your camera, do a selfie.
Other-
Maybe you'll find them.
I'm new, baby.
There are
I'm new.
there are other shakers right there, man. But yeah, we have updated the software situation over here so that we can do video conference call, picture-in-picture,
Wow.
all kinds of fancy things.
way.
Well,
As
yeah.
a matter of fact, yeah, just for specifically for this, but we can
But George,
do
you can kick
picture-in-picture.
that a little to the right, huh? You can can you tweak your thing? Perfect. You're gonna see Bishop
Not on camera, I
calling
can.
in. You'll see his
He'll
face.
see us, and
Yeah.
We'll
he kind of
see
looks a
him
little
and-
like Jerry Garcia in the
Are
good
they the
days.
same?
Yeah. Very cool. So you've gotten some you guys got written up a bit. I see Doug Farrell over here, who he does the Broward Palm Beach Clean Plate Charlie. Wrote you guys up that you guys were coming down here. So how have the beers been? I mean, what's your experience been? Well received?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody loves the beers. It's been going great in this market.
Fantastic. So what we have here is we have, local scene in Florida is kind of hot right now. It's the last bastion of places to where things can really pop and things can really happen. And I really am excited that there's more really good product coming into the area that are, really taking it to the next level. So what do we got here? We got 3,
Yeah, we're gonna finish
4, what do we got? 1, 2, 3.
Here.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. One of each, yeah.
this
Awesome.
smells good.
Okay, great. So
I'm gonna get my cheat sheet.
So which one is this? Wavemaker Amber.
this
Yep.
is your Wavemaker Amber.
Nice.
You want to text Bishop and make sure he's okay because he was he was waiting to call in, and now I've asked him to call in 3-4 times, and maybe we're just missing it.
Maybe because he was drinking already,
Yeah.
during that test call.
I can't blame him. Oh, this is nice. Now, what do you get right off the bat on this one? Talk to me. Do you know about the malt bill on this one? At all,
I get
Chris?
Bishop would be the guy to talk to about.
Yeah.
a caramel fragrance.
Look at
which
this
is
guy,
really.
right? I swear to God, when we started this show,
I
he
didn't know one beer from
anything.
another. I had, I knew like color. I knew three kinds of beers. Dark, light, and medium.
Absolutely, George. I get total caramel malts off of that. It smells really, really
This is-
nice. Wonderful dried fruits too, like raisins, right? A little bit of
Right.
that comes out of it,
Definitely.
and that's really nice.
There he goes.
And it has a real good freshness to it. There he is.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
That's okay, brother.
He just had us on mute.
I'd like to definitely welcome Mike Bishop, owner and brewmaster. And when I say that, I mean he's the guy behind all the creativity and whatnot. Talk to me a little bit about the Big Storm, where you got the idea for the name and the concept of the brewery as you see it.
Sure, yeah. So we started Big Storm back in 2012. I worked previously at Dunedin Brewery for a few years. Kind of learned the trade, got some training from the head brewer over there, who actually now works for us, Norman Dixon. And after I left there, we just kind of opened up with the concept of providing Tampa with some good, complex, easy drinking beers. We saw a good niche where you kind of have some crazy brews coming out of Cigar City, some great beers. You have some produced beer by Florida Avenue, which is more towards the gateway drinker. There really wasn't anything in the middle that had some good complexity that could appeal to the craft beer nerd and the everyday person alike.
That's you. He's talking about you when he says craft beer.
Oh, yeah?
Nerd.
Are you the
Yeah.
everyday person?
I'm the everyday person. I'm
okay.
just, I go to the sale rack. Buy beer.
Yeah, this
So,
one's-
that's how we got started, and we kind of jumped up from there. So
Fantastic. So you did a little. You actually did some. You were an intern over at Dunedin, and that's a great brewery. I've definitely had a few of their things.
Sure.
Been by there once or twice, and then you kind of was it the decision to take it on your own and to start your own brewery. I mean, how did that come about? I mean, I know that it must have been you thinking to yourself, "Wow, I mean, that's a big undertaking, right? To do it on your own."
Yeah, that's a funny story. So I founded the company with Clay Yarn. He's our market manager up in the kind of Bay Area, up towards here, towards home base. And we were longtime friends, know each other since college. He kind of knew I was doing the Dunedin Brewery thing, and we always wanted to do something together, open a business together. He was kind of begging me to open a brewery, and I was like, I really don't want to do that because I know it's a big pain. Just knowing my experience with Dunedin and how much work it was going to be, and we finally decided, all right, let's go for it, let's take a shot, and started working on it probably April of 2011. I want to say business planning and projecting out what we were going to do, and finally got brewing in June of 2012.
Great. And, it's interesting because there was literally nothing going on around there. I mean, people, they travel to come to the tap room, but it says here you guys started distribution before you even started your tap room. I mean, that's usually the other way around. I mean, how did that whole thing come about?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was just a matter of licensing.
Okay.
We waited a long time to get our federal brewer's license, and we were just itching, ready to go. The brewery was ready to fire up actually in April 2012, and we got a banner hanging up at a local bar that says "Coming May of 2012." Every time I go there, I laugh a little bit. So once we got the license, we just went ahead and started brewing and focused on our primary objective, which was getting beer to different bars, restaurants, across the state. At least starting that adventure. The tap room kind of came into place a couple months later.
Oh, that's cool. So at the tap room, what kind of events do you guys have? Do you have bands and food trucks, or what can we find if we were going to go out there on a Friday night or Saturday or whatever?
Yeah, so we keep it very intimate. It's a very small space. We have a very unique tap room. You'll kind of see some pictures on our Facebook, a little bit of it. It's actually right in the middle of the brewery. It gives a really cool experience. People are sitting right, within 5 to 10 feet of the tanks that make the beer they're drinking, which we get great response on. We do only our beers. We do no TVs. We keep it, like I said, a very conversational, almost speakeasy attitude. We do food trucks on Fridays and Saturdays, and we try and keep it fun. Have some events. We did a cornhole tournament over Memorial Day weekend. But it's really just about people to come out and try the product and go out there and support us in bars and restaurants.
That's great. And you say the scene's blowing up. I know these notes are a little bit old, but you continue to see that. I mean, the support, the reception from new people. What's it feel like turning people on to the craft beer movement?
It's a lot of fun. It's probably the most rewarding part of the job is, when we go to different places, down there, around the state of Florida. I had we sampled a beer in Ocala, I want to say about a month or so ago now, myself and my general manager, Chief, and the bartender takes a sip of it, looks up at me, wide-eyed, and goes, "Wow." And I was like, that's why I do this. It's pretty cool, to see that kind of reaction.
That is cool. So talk to me about capacity. I mean, you guys just had an expansion, right? Not about 6 months ago. And now you're what are some of the plans? I mean, we're moving out, we're putting in a canning line, bottling line, and what do you think it's going to be?
Give it to me all.
I just want it all.
It's funny. It's we talk about this all day, every day. What the next step is. Obviously, the industry is just going wild right now with growth. As far as Big Storm, we're getting close to maxing out our new facility already. Well, when I say new facility, the new equipment in our old facility.
Right.
We pretty much outgrown that. So we're shopping for land in the area right now. We plan on building a new facility. Anywhere between 30 and 50,000 square feet. Put it inside a size to go within striking distance of what Cigar City does across the state and throughout the region. So our goal is to keep growing. Meat and canning line is going to be a part of that new project too. We're working on cans, and we're just hoping to keep growing and keep making good beer every day.
Yep.
So
that's great. And the beer is good. What do you guys think of this amber?
I think it's great.
like
This
it,
is like
yeah.
my new
When you
favorite
come
beer.
up with a recipe to make an amber and you say, okay, I don't want to do exactly what people have done before, but I want to make something on my own. I mean, how did you kind of go through that process to create this specific beer, which is probably the one that people are introduced to first, right? For the most part, either that or the pale ale.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we first and foremost we start with balance. I think that's the first thing that we attack whenever we develop any kind of recipe. You have your malty beers, your hoppy beers, but the real good recipes are just like food recipes. You never want something so salty that it just overpowers. You usually want to pair something sweet with it. So what we do is we kind of take a traditional amber recipe like the Wave Maker and also add just a little more bitterness than you usually get. It gives a little bit of hop profile on the back note of it when you taste it, but still giving you all the true traditional maltiness of that American amber.
Yeah, the flavor components come out very well. Exactly. The balance is really right there. I get perfect amount of caramel malts. I'm sure that there's a pale malt base in this, right? Or no? Is it all caramel?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
yeah.
That comes through, and it's really nice. And then those hops. The hops are more traditional to me. I don't. Did you use a European style just to balance the sweetness, or in the boil, or?
No, we typically lean all towards American hops.
All American? Okay.
Yeah, we don't use too many.
I just meant because it was more earthy and herbal in the balance, which I like.
Sure. Yeah. We use a couple different hops in there.
Perfect.
We focus on Cascade,
Okay.
which is tried and true, and we use a little bit of a lemon hop on the back of it as well. So
Nice.
it's a constant balancing act whenever you're working with any beer recipe or any recipe formulation.
Fantastic. I love it. What do you think, Rob?
I like it. Yeah. I mean,
Really good flavor profile.
any new beer drinker, love it.
Yeah, no, I really do. I went into the Riverside Market. I was telling Chris, which is one of our local proprietors down here. You guys were doing a kickoff.
Right.
You guys were doing a kickoff to kick off to the actual distributor, and I tried the Palm Bender Pale Ale. Really liked it. Yeah, right off the tap. So that's always nice when you can taste it right off the tap. I mean, it tastes very fresh. And it's just, like they say about a mark of a great brewer is Pilsner. Well, it's Pale Ale too. There's not a lot of hiding going on. People can hide in beers, especially with all those crazy beers, all these crazy flavors, 22 malts and 56 hops. It's like, okay, well, I can fix all my screw ups with this. But if you're just doing,
The simple ones are hard.
malts and hops, boom, boom, and you make it out nice, that is a mark of a good brewer. So definitely. Talk to me about distribution. You guys are growing throughout the state. How is that finding new distributors and getting hooked up with all that? What fun that must be.
Yes. we'll say fun. None of my distributors are listening, right? No.
No, you're good.
It's always a cool thing to go out there and meet with some new people and new distributors and talk about potential partnerships and them carrying our beers. I believe our latest count is at 16, I want to say. We're probably going to be moving up to about 17 or 18 different distributors across the state.
That's great. Up into how far over you going? You going over like as far as Tallahassee and Jacksonville, or where are you at? What's your footprint?
Yeah. So you can find us in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, all the way down through the states, you guys, all the way down to Key West. Really, the only territories that we haven't quite opened up yet are Pensacola and Gainesville. Those are just kind of two little holes there, but we're working on getting that done soon.
Pensacola. We called it a little hole
That's
ourselves.
a whole.
Yeah, a lot of good
I think
beer
you said that
drinking up
earlier.
there, though. So-
No, there is. We're just kidding. I mean, I'm just joking around. So yeah, but Pensacola. I mean, it's kind of like there's not really. I mean, you have Louisiana, but you got to go through Mississippi and Alabama first. But those states have just gotten rid of, like, I know Lazy Magnolia. They've broken through archaic beer laws. To make it so they can brew a beer of a certain
And they can homebrew there,
ABV,
too.
and they can homebrew there. I mean, they've just overturned some real archaic beer laws. So I mean, look at homebrewing has turned into craft brewing, which has turned into people coming to of light in the 21st century. Oh my gosh, it's pretty amazing. So very cool. So you brew. We want to try another beer. Let's try the Palm
Yeah, what's
Bender.
next?
We're going to talk about this Palm
Keep
Bender
breaking
Pale
them
Ale.
out.
We're going to keep breaking them out. Talk to me about your Palm Bender. Ooh, that sounded dirty.
Yeah, so I like your points on the pale ales. I completely agree with you. Not a lot of people really appreciate the subtleties of trying to brew a great pale ale or a great pilsner or any kind of light beer. You're absolutely right. There's really not much to hide in there.
Yeah.
With our pale, we try and keep it pretty traditional American. All American hops. Very simple, basic. We believe in beauty and simplicity. We also do a little bit of spice in there as well to try and balance the hops out. Hope you enjoy it.
No, absolutely. This one here is it's a lovely color, the 2-row pale. I mean, lovely malts. I love when you get that like almost ambery look. It's like a 7 or 8 SRM. It really does. It's kind of just beyond golden, and the hops come through really nice, bright, citrusy, well balanced. But what I remember drinking about it and when I try it now was a good balance in the flavor profile. I like sweet balanced by bitter. I mean, I just right there in the middle.
Yeah,
Everybody's got their own
it's
liking.
a little sweeter than, like, say, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which I had a couple before I came.
Which I enjoy. You know what I mean? I want
No,
a
yeah,
malt
totally.
bed
No, I
to
like it a
balance the
lot.
hops. I find a lot of California beers to be a little too hoppy for me. Maybe because we live in Florida. What do you think about that, Bishop? I mean,
West Coast IPA and West Coast Pale Ales.
they're great. Don't get me wrong. Just not.
Yeah.
We live in Florida.
Yeah, we, as brewers, we love to brew the things that we love to drink, and don't get me wrong, myself, my brewers, we're hopheads ourselves, but we like it within reason. I think probably our top commandment is balance. I can't say it enough. I think every time I talk about it, I say balance at least 5 times, and people get pretty sick of it. But that's essentially what it is for us. When it comes to West Coast, it's just such a punchy in the mouth hop profile that some people like it, and I can like it sometimes. But I think for the beer drinkers here in Florida, I think having a good balance of subtle hop, subtle malt, I think that's probably better for our Florida drinkers.
Yeah, a lot of these sessionable IPAs are coming out, or even Garrett Oliver talks about his Imperial Pale Ale. You know what I mean? It's kind of like things are starting to change. There's that 4-way IPA. Sierra Nevada puts out a 4-way IPA pack, and they got the Nooner in there. Which is right. I mean, what are your thoughts on everything kind of going that way?
Sessionability, man. It's where it's at. People. I'm going to go back to Florida here. I hope I'm not. I mean, I don't want to sound insulting to Florida drinkers.
No,
I myself one, but I think just we're more outdoor, we're more active. Our climate,
it's hot.
People want more beers that they can sit down and have 2 or 3 and not have to worry about being over the limit or pushing themselves instead of just one traditional.
But
So-
I find that in the rye phenomenon. Like, I just don't. I mean, it's funny too because like Sweetwater makes the low rider, and they're going to discontinue that beer. And I think that basically Sierra makes their Ruthless Rye, one of their seasonals. It just doesn't translate. No rye beer I've ever really had down here translates to Florida. I mean, what do you think about that, Rob?
Dude, I think you're wrong.
Okay, no, it's opinions.
I love the rye beers.
You do. You love rye beers.
I love
in a hot Florida sun, though.
I love the Ruthless Rye. I love the one from Founders, the Reds Rye.
Reds Rye. What about the Rastafari Rye?
Yeah, no, the one from Blue Point.
Blue Point. Yeah.
No, I like them all.
You like
I
them?
love
I
that
agree
spicy.
with you, Brett. I'm not a fan.
Okay,
I like the
sessionable-
let's get this straight. It's all opinion to start.
Every
just
beer is
opinion.
sessionable,
I'm
by the way.
I'm talking to Bishop about Florida beers and I'm drinking beer in Florida. You know what I mean? And if it's cold and rainy outside, rye beer might be all the rage. I'm just saying for an everyday.
It's cold and rainy today, 72.
Yeah,
baby.
so drink a rye beer, but most of the time, I mean, I wonder how you feel about them. So
And we have a great.
Chris is on my side.
I had frost in my car last winter.
And we do make a great sessional IPA. It's called Low Pressure.
Oh, really cool.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
We don't have any with
okay.
us, but I'll be getting some in the next week and a half.
You know, Bishop, I like the low pressure because most people don't realize, unless you lived in Florida long enough, that's that barometric pressure that makes the storm so dangerous, right?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's, you're kind of hitting on a thing, with our names, we try and do things that tie into our brand but are not hokey. That's why we come up with stuff like the low pressure, like the Arcus. The next one you're going to drink is actually a cloud formation at the front of a storm. So, yeah, it's
Hurricane season starts on Sunday, and people are going to start hating you pretty soon with your names.
yeah. It's always a funny thing around here. We did it last year, and we were preparing ourselves for it. And the whole time we were crossing our fingers that no hurricane would roll through. Because how ironic would it be when the news turns on that we got blown away by a hurricane or something? It probably wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah, but then again, every time they'd say it, a really big storm just rolled through, and you guys are getting free publicity. They're like, "Oh, that sounds familiar."
I get a free shout out.
That's
great.
awesome, yeah.
You should hear some of the people in my tap room trying to come up with they think are great names for beers. They're like, "Why don't you make a Katrina beer?" And I'm like,
Oh, there you go.
probably not. I'm gonna skip that one.
You can sell it in the ghetto. I'm just kidding. Oh no, this is internet show. Anyway, so that brings me to a really good one-off. Would be that brings me to a good segue. One-offs. Why don't you make a really cool beer? You guys have your lineup, this is obviously the Wavemaker, Palm Bender, Arcus, and the IPA is.
That's the Arcus is the IPA.
The Arcus IPA is
Yep.
are the core. Talk to me about some one-offs and what you got in store.
Yeah, so I like to. This kind of is the same thing I tell distributors too. We're a full-on craft brewery. We like to keep tinkering. We like to have one-offs. We call our one-offs the Forecast series, kind of like a play on Rotator, but playing into the storm theme.
Yeah,
we got some cool things coming up.
I really like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, we got some cool things we're going to be doing this summer. I guess number one first is going to be our summer seasonal. We call it the Calm. It's a German-style Kolsch. Kind of going back to what you were talking about, not hiding. That is probably one of my favorite beers to make because it's simple, couple malts, one hop, low hop, one yeast. I mean, it's really brewer-versed fermentation. It's really a cool, clean, light, refreshing beer.
Temperature is the name of the game in that one. And
oh, absolutely.
It's funny because I've tasted big brewery Kolsch's that I don't like. I won't name any, but I do love one of the quintessential Kolsch's in South Florida is the Tequesta guys, and I'm sure you know Fran, just the salt of the earth. His Chancellor is
a great beer.
It's a great beer, and everybody in South Florida appreciates it. So I mean, yours is going to be a hit,
Yeah, they make great beers there too, and the Kolsch, it's always a great style. I love those German traditional styles. I love the traditional British styles. I'm heavily influenced by both those. As far as other one-offs, we're looking at doing a kind of a summer honey wheat, I guess, kind of a strong honey wheat beer. We're also going to be doing an Imperial IPA that we use smoked malt in as well. It's kind of like a cool play on a barbecue and an IPA in your mouth at the same time.
George likes that. He likes
Yes,
multiple things in his mouth at once.
That's true. More the merrier. There's a party in there. Everyone's invited.
Anyway, so but that's super cool. So what is your affinity with the honey, man? He was telling me about this, and I know we just had I was interviewing Tom Mensch from OBP last week.
Okay.
And he was telling me there's just some problems in the honey pot. Like, it's going to get bad. Like, he just signed with Brew Hub, and now he's going to start his production, quite a bit increase of production. But, it's tough, the honey. Talk to me about your honey experience.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. It adds great profile to it, just an extra kind of add-on to the beer that's so nice, and you get really good flavors, good local. We use local honey here in our home, Pasco County. We've had pretty good luck with it. We have seen some troubles in the honey industry. One of the farmers bee harvester. I don't know the name. Sorry.
It's such a weird name, like entomologist or something like that. That's a bug guy.
Is it apiary?
Aviary? Okay, we'll use that.
I think it's apiary.
Apiary. There you go. I'll use that. Mine was like a bug guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was being more general.
The people we used to use, they had to shut down with just shortage, and now we're on another Pasco source. So I think Tom's got some good points, and we got to track it and kind of fight the fight that we usually do with beers. I mean, it's always a living, breathing, adjusting game. A lot of consumers don't see it on the backside, but we're kind of like chefs in the kitchen, and sometimes we run out of an ingredient, or this happens, that happens. We have to make adjustments. At the end of the day, it's just hitting the consistency that we can with the challenges that arise.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about, and looks like you guys are doing it. So talk to me about a little camaraderie. Do you find camaraderie with other brewers in Florida? I've talked to a lot of brewers in Florida, and they say that, like the guy from Due South, he said that he had an issue with one of his glycol jackets, and, the guys from, Cigar City were right there to help him out and whatnot. I mean, how does that work, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, we're all friendly. We have a camaraderie. I think the Tampa Bay area, has a little different atmosphere. We're not competitive. We don't fight with each other. We're still friendly, but we kind of have the king of the court here in our area in Cigar City. So the rest of us are kind of just at base camp trying to work our way up.
Yeah.
So
that is what it is.
Yeah, but we help each other as much as we can, for sure.
I see this water spout milk stout. That sounds good. Is that something you make all the time?
Tasty. It's part of our forecast series.
Okay.
We work with our distributors too, and meeting demand, and we saw kind of a need for a consistent nitro option out there in bars and restaurants. Some of these craft places just get sick of Guinness, so they want to try something else, and we started doing that, and we're gonna have it for a little while, and we're probably gonna shift to another nitro option. So we keep playing with it, keep tinkering.
So that's interesting that you do it nitro. I know that Left Hand milk stout was down here for a while, but it didn't really blow up until they went nitro with it. So I mean, that's a very intricate component to it coming across correctly in the flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a totally different feel, totally different mouth feel. Nitrogen bubbles are a lot finer than CO2 bubbles.
Yeah.
It's not as harsh as CO2. So not a lot of all flavors are going to get hidden up by it. It's going to be a really true feel of what the beer is. We like playing with it.
That's very cool. So we're here on By the Glass Show, and we're talking to Bishop, as we like to call him. He's the owner and brewmaster of the Big Storm Brewing Company. And these guys are, what's the technical area? It's Pasco County, but Odessa, Florida, right?
Yes. Yeah, Odessa is our technical address.
Yeah, and these guys will be doing some expansion soon. And what about festivals? Any cool festivals? I mean, is it festival season up there? I know you guys. We just had South Florida. I mean, we had Florida Beer Week, or we had National Beer Week, Craft Beer Week and whatnot. You guys, let me talk to me. You know what's hot right now, and I wanted to ask you about is sours. Do you have any interest in that, in sour beers? How do you feel about it?
No.
Okay, I'm just wondering because you're a brewer and people do that kind of thing.
I think one of the most important things that all of us breweries in Florida can do is draw our line in the sand and say what our identity is. Okay. Some places they have a great identity for doing sours, weird stuff, barrel aged stuff. That's great. I love to do some barrel aged stuff.
Okay.
I don't brew sours or Belgians. You probably won't see them from me. So, but I draw my line in my sand and I tell people what my identity is. So
that's good. I think that I think that's great because knowing what you want to do and you know, it's funny with me. Like I like traditional sours. Like when I'm in Belgium, I'm drinking sour beers, Cantillon and whatnot. But a lot of the stuff that I've tried here, you know, even stuff that you know I'm more familiar with, like the New Belgium, the Lafalle just came out and used to be kind of good, but it's certainly not as good as it used to be for some reason. Things are kind of falling off. There's only a few that really do it for me anymore, and you know, but now it's so hipster, you know what I mean? People get caught up in these real trendy things and they're just sitting there. Honestly, the reason I don't drink so many sours because I'm an old man, I got a bum stomach, you know, and after like 2 or 3 of them I'm done, you know. I'm like, oh god, you know, I need an antacid. But
I was up in Jacksonville at a festival with our distributor, and he loves sours. He's just starting to get into sours, but he busted out a little packet of Tums. He's like, I gotta keep these with me now because I'm starting to like sours.
It's true, right? I
Yeah.
thought it was just me. It's crazy.
No,
it's all of us, man.
It's true, man. It's true.
How about,
but it is
like-
a growing trend though? You know?
Yeah.
So
Well, you know, I'm down here with guys like Funky Buddha and Jonathan Wakefield, and they're doing their Berliner Weisses, which is kind of like a fruit. How do you feel about working with fruits and stuff? And I'm not talking about Chris here. He seems like a real nice guy.
yeah. I put up with him. No, you know, we like experimenting. You know, I don't really I guess cut it out of the equation. You know, it's just a matter of finding something that we're all gonna like. You know, we're brewing beers that consumers are gonna like, but we like too. You know, it kind of it portrays that passion a little more when we're brewing stuff that we really believe in and we really like.
Come on, Brad.
Yeah,
You
if
drew
I
his
come- if I
line of
come
honey.
That's why I asked him, because he likes honey, so I thought maybe fruits weren't too out of the question. It's an interesting thing is that Florida really has a wonderful fruit industry. I mean, we were just talking about the strawberry fields forever up there in
Up in Plant City.
Plant City, you know, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that come from that part of the world. And you know, I just wonder if it would be out of the equation because you seem to be a guy who knows what he likes.
And you know, he didn't draw his line at joining the other brewmasters with their beards either.
Well, I think he's kind of. I'm thinking like I gotta like Jerry Garcia personally, which isn't an insult. I love Jerry
The
Garcia.
lighting's a little dark in here. It's
It's not a full beer.
Yeah, it's getting darker.
There's a big storm happening outside. So
Actually, the sun just came out here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it won't rain.
That's right.
no, it actually is nasty outside. I'm sorry. I can go a little closer for you. Here you go.
Damn, man.
I love the picture that came up with your Skype picture. Is hilarious. The one that comes up. That's funny. You should see it.
It was a little creepy.
Oh, that's cool. So talk to me about marketing. Let's get to the other side of things. I mean, making the beer and getting it out there is all fun, but you know, how are we getting ourselves out there? Facebook, Twitter, blah blah blah.
Yeah, you know, funny enough, that side is equally as fun. You know, we're always looking for new, exciting, cool things to do, whether it's events, you know, fundraisers, festivals. You know, we're constantly shopping for different point of sale materials that are going to help us sell our beer, pint glasses, you know, growlers, new growler designs, coasters, that kind of stuff. You know, we have a great marketing team. Chris is really one of them. He's one of 4 guys that we have across the state that are out there basically marketing our beer for us. We have an in-house marketing director. Her name's Lauren Walden, very sharp, does great work in-house for us. We kind of pull together as a collaborative effort to get out there as much as we can and spread our name. That was their goal number 1 this year when we really set out was, I guess when we're talking about brewers, we're talking about balance. When we're talking about the marketing team, we're talking presence. You know, we wanted to increase our presence throughout Florida.
That's great. Now, how, as far as like your home area, I mean, Tampa's your home area. You go around, do you see a good presence of the Big Storm in Tampa? I mean, as far as tap handles and whatnot. We don't have a picture of your tap handle or anything, but you know, I mean, is it something that when you go around you see? I mean, you know, what's so funny?
Oh no, you know what? You're bringing up a funny point, and Chris is feeling me right now. He's probably thinking in his head, "I wish I had a picture." Of the
I've never seen a tap handle either.
You know, it's one of those funny things in the industry. You know, there's always something else, and you know, our tap handle company took a long time to actually make tap handles for us, and we were supposed to have new ones last month for all the new distributors that we've opened, but we're still waiting to get them. We're supposedly getting them on Monday, but
That's
I'm
2
sorry,
Mondays.
You know, Well, that's
Yeah,
that's the
you know.
business, though. You know, I've been in the business a long time, sold beer, wine, and spirits, and everybody goes through those growing pains,
Right.
and they deal with it. But you know, the presence that you have here on paper, you know, the fact that, you know, Chris has got this cool shirt on, it's got his name on it and everything. You know what I mean? I love all the logos. I love the glassware. And, you know, you have all the cool bumper stickers and whatnot, which George is going to definitely put one on his car.
I'm gonna put it on my bumper sticker cabinet. You know, my broadcasting cabinet.
Nice.
You know, I like the marketing. I think it's a big part of it. And hey, I want to go to Tampa next time and see a Big Storm handle, you know, and have a palm bender and whatnot. So it's just something I thought I'd throw out there.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah, no, thank
when are we
you.
going to get to try this Arcus IPA with honey?
Well, don't talk to me. I'm not the guy with the beer. Come on, Chris, pour it up.
Damn.
All right. So we're going to be drinking the Arcus IPA. We got the Bishop. He's on the line here, okay? And talk to me about this one. Now, it's Indian Pale Ale. It packs a larger punch than the Palm Bender, of course. But it's well balanced because that's what they're all about. They're about the balance. It's an easy
That's
drinking
the top
IPA.
commandment.
Brewed with the two-row American. We love the two-row American. Dry hopped with whole cone, the Cascade, which is quintessential, and the Cloud Rose in. I love that. Who did you write that, Bishop? The Cloud rolls in with an intense citrusy
no, I
hop
didn't.
aroma. It's good though.
He wishes.
So talk to me about the dry hopping process. Do you got to hop back? Do you guys talk to me about your equipment there for this type of thing?
Yeah, we keep going back and forth on it. We have a hop back on both our heat exchanger through the heat exchanging process, as well as a secondary hop back that could be used cycling during cellaring or in between tanks. We keep playing around with what we want to do, what gets more. I always tell the guys, a little bit of change is okay as long as it changes for the better. So
Yeah.
we keep playing with it.
So so here's my question. I mean, I'm a home brewer, but I know just a little bit about stuff. Adding honey is gonna, the risk of over attenuating, having too much fermentable sugar, especially in an IPA. How do you keep that in check? Especially when you're adding honey into an IPA. Because I got the nuance here; it's wonderful, and the beer is very good. I've tried it before. I'm gonna try it again here. But that must be something you guys juggle with. Adding honey into an IPA, because there is honey in this, right?
Oh yeah. So the Arcus is probably the most complicated recipe that took to master, I guess we'll say. We brewed it probably 3 or 4 different times, different varieties of it, to really dial it in and see what we liked as far as getting that subtle honey flair without totally overpowering hops or over attenuating, like you were saying. So that it's good old fashioned trial and error.
Absolutely, this one. What do you think, George? George
That is
sticking his nose in it.
delicious, and I've never said that about an IPA ever, ever.
The honey adds a complexity, which adds a base, which you can lay the hops on, so you can really taste the full flavor profile of the hops. And then there's a base there for that palate to really shine. What do you think, Rob?
I think it's really good. I like and you can taste the honey. And
You can smell it.
Yeah,
But it's not sweet to the taste.
No,
it's got the honey flavor.
The beer's bitter.
Yeah,
But
it's really
it's
nicely
sweet.
balanced. I can just drink this. And
Ed Roberts told me that this won some award. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about awards, because this guy's got a bevy of awards. Talk to me about, if you wouldn't mind, sir, about your awards, please.
Yeah, we've won silver medals in the Arcus and the Palm Bender. We've also won a couple of silver medals for a couple one-offs that we did last year. One of which was our Dunder and Blixum, our strong ale, and then the other one was the Bishop's Brides that my wife brewed for our wedding.
Wow, that's cool.
And she won't let me live that down. So it was actually our highest rated beer that we've ever had. So every time I come home, she gets to rub it in my face.
That's brutal, man. That's awesome, bro.
So when's
when's your wife getting the brewmaster job, right?
When's she going to brew a gold?
Yeah.
She scored really high. It was all these awards are in the they're from the Best Florida Beer competition,
Right.
and the competition's just gotten very very tight, very good this year. They changed a little bit of the rules. They made it a little more strict. If you can believe it, she actually scored a 95 out of 100 in that beer and got a silver.
Wow.
So it's very competitive for the best. I mean, more Florida breweries, more competition. It really pushes all of us to keep improving and keep doing it better. It's pretty cool.
Is she a good cook?
what
I
she
didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just messing around. Dude. I'm just kidding.
Oh, there was a pause. That was uncomfortable.
No,
Too long to
she's not
answer.
listening. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry,
You're
Bishop. I'm
bad.
just messing.
She's
I must.
listening. I was dead,
I
man.
was gonna say she must be a really good cook if she can brew really well because they always go hand in hand, right?
It's true. That is true. She
Yeah.
is a very good cook.
Good.
And she really went in there and knocked it out of the park. She kind of dictated. She wasn't really good with the ingredients. She didn't really know what to do with that. So she kind of gave me an idea of what she was looking for, and I kind of worked out, the ingredients as far as what she needed. So.
That's great. Well, the best collaborations come from good partnership, and it sounds like you have one there. That's fantastic. So, and it's always good for brainstorming because when you're inundated in the company and you're let's face it, coming up with something new is not always easy. So a lot of good outside influence that you trust can always lead to good things. Definitely, especially with recipes, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that comes from across the board and everything. Even from our marketing team.
Yeah.
Chris is a great example of us bringing in an outside guy that has a wealth of experience and knowledge. With down south in you guys' territory.
He knows how to handle these boys down here.
Yeah.
It's not always easy.
We try and surround ourselves with the best, and as a growing company, our philosophy is always trying to, hire people that are smarter and better, and can keep interesting and great ideas flowing. I'm not the be all end all, that's for sure.
Oh, but you sound like a bunch of great guys, and I definitely I'm wishing you the best here, and I can't wait to see what you come out with in the future. And I like the fact that you're spread throughout the state so that you have a really nice footprint so that you can continue to expand and to grow. And Florida itself is just expanding and growing, and there's people turning 21 every day. And how do you feel about this? I mean, a lot of these kids, they're turning 21. They're not going to start out by drinking the Miller Lite or the Corona. You know what I mean? They're starting out drinking good beer, and they're never going back, right, Bishop? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, we're seeing that trend for sure. The demographic of our tap room is crazy to me. It's always kind of interesting to see. We have the 21-year-old alike, all the way up to the 70-year-olds that are driving on their golf cart from their retirement community that's about a mile away from us. So
That's cool.
We see a huge swing in demographic. I mean, everybody's really getting into it, and a lot of the college kids are starting to learn that they'd rather drink quality than quantity, and it's a great thing. So
that's fantastic. Very cool. And so if you wanted to tell everybody, first of all, we'll get into with Chris, where we can find everybody, but the next big thing coming out from Big Storm, if you just wanted to tell everybody what to look for next and kind of like a mission statement, now's the time to do it, brother.
Well, I mean, as far as beer, I kind of talked about a little bit. It's going to be our Kolsch, our Calm.
Right.
We're going to get that down in South Florida here very soon. Get them loaded up with some of it. It's going to be a big hit, really light, refreshing for summertime. And look for us to continue to grow. We're very, slow growth. We do it within reason. We try and pick the right partners, the right retailers, and, just kind of grow with our distributor from there.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you some cans in the future, you know what I mean? Maybe like walking into some retail with some cans, getting a Kolsch. That's something I bring down to the beach and drink on the beach, not a damn rye, Rob.
Oh, I drink at home, man. I drink at home. I drink alone.
All right, well, I'm behind you. Definitely. Mike Bishop, owner and brewmaster for Big Storm Brewing. These guys are great. I've loved all the beers today. What do you guys think of these beers?
I like them.
Fantastic.
They're
They all
great.
have their unique twist on the typical beer, but they're right there in the pocket, and they take it to the next level. And a hell of a guy. Thank you for joining us on By the Glass Show, Bishop. Man, it was great having you. Great guest.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
And thanks for kicking George in the ass and making him use this Skype thing. I mean,
Yeah, I love to evolve. Any excuse.
now I can only imagine what he's going to do with it in the
Skype is
future.
evolving, huh?
Now you can do it, George. Now you have the the experience.
I'm gonna have a dancing girl on the side camera now. Designated dancing girl, go
That's
dancer.
probably better to look at, honestly. So
Yeah,
We're in downtown Hollywood. They're out front.
they're at the bars.
Bishop, we look forward to great things from Big Storm, and thank you so much for joining us. It was a real pleasure.
of course, guys, take care and thanks again.
All right,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
Thank
Great.
you.
Fantastic. Okay, we'll take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get in with Chris and we'll talk about the marketing and media, where we can find you guys and what's going on Facebook and all that, good stuff, to find out what kind of cool events are happening with Big Storm when we come back on By the Glass Show on SoFloRadio.com.
right.
SoFloRadio.com. Radio's dirty little secret. Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now, 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
When you're ready to actually lose weight safely and steadily while being monitored by a physician, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson is there for you. The family medicine practice was established by her father in 1956 and continues as a medical practice that now specializes in weight reduction. Dr. Kim Jacobson joined the practice 20 years ago as both a family medicine practitioner and weight loss specialist. The Weight Loss Clinic utilizes a combination of appetite suppression medication and vitamins to produce great results, usually 3 to 4 pounds per week for most patients. Now you can change your lifestyle while still enjoying your own food, just less of it. They offer a choice of 2, 3, or 4-week plans. So whether you just need to lose a few pounds or a lot, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson can help you. They're located at 5454 Northeast 4th Avenue in Miami, just 2 blocks west of 54th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. Call them at 305-751-0091. They'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. That's 305-751-0091. Get started on a beautiful new body today with Dr. Kim Jacobson and the Weight Loss Clinic.
Hi, this is Jeff Cohen of the Pizza Loft. The Pizza Loft has been making the best pizza in South Florida for over 300 years.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
Just because you make the best pizza in town don't necessarily mean you can voice your own commercials.
Why not? Look, I just painted my nails for this.
You just get back in the kitchen and do what you know best, okay?
Well, if you think you can do a better job.
A dead man can do better at this, and I'm almost there. Now scram.
All right.
Now see here. You want the best pizza in town? Not to mention a full menu of mouth-watering Italian dishes at prices the whole family can afford? Then you ought to know by now. Pizza Loft is the place for great Italian dining. And the pizza. Mo knows. I stole my share. That's Pizza Loft, 3514 South University Drive in Davie. Or call 954-916-8880.
Welcome to the Moses Love Hour. Filled with friends, live music, and conscious living. Take some time and come on the adventures aboard Mission Control. From the I Love Yoga studios in Dania Beach, Florida, USA. Streaming live Sunday nights from 9 to 10 on SoFloRadio.com.
And now we return you to By the Glass.
Last show. Are we on? Are we live on the air?
Yeah, I
George?
can't play the song. We're live on the air. Look at this crashing over
what
here.
What happened? Did a big storm come through and
I guess
actually blow everything
I don't even
offline?
know what this. I don't even know what this error message means over here.
Don't worry.
How to ride in the storm out and everything. I think it's all
Error
your
is the
fault.
name of a girl who once,
Look at that. I
screwed
don't
you
even know what to
over.
do.
So she's continuing to wreak havoc upon that which is your radio, my radio show.
I guess.
Yeah.
Ride in the storm out. There you go. There's rejoin music.
Kind of look
for
like
you.
Kevin Croak or whatever.
Oh man, really? It's the nose, right? It's the giant nose.
Hair. It's the hair.
I used to have cool hair.
Big curly hair, George.
That went out
I'm
in the 90s.
fantasizing.
My cool hair.
Very cool. So, guys, we're back, and we have Big Storm Brewing on the show, and we love the beers. Rob's going to really Rob from Daily Beer Review. Guys, if you don't go to Daily Beer Review and check it out all the time, he writes really great stuff. Not only the very classic, quintessential reviews of the beers, but good, witty banter. That's what I love. Absolutely.
Who doesn't love witty banter?
I love witty banter, and Rob's got a pocket full for you, and I do enjoy it. And he brings sake. Well, I like smart ass. It's kind of one of the things that I enjoy. And if you're lucky, he'll bring sake, coconut, and otherwise. And you can have a
the
really
otherwise
good
was
time.
pretty bad.
And the otherwise was pretty good. I enjoyed the coconut because coconut anything, is fine with me.
That's why I brought
It's all
it.
you.
Yeah.
George is taking it with him though.
Not the coconut. The other one. I already packed it away.
Oh.
It's for my haircut later.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
complicated.
Can't get your hair cut without getting wasted, right?
Well, Saki, it's appropriate. A taiko drummer cuts my hair.
Oh, wow. You could
She have
do the
tattoos?
old Austin Powers joke.
She's beautiful.
Saki and Timmy, baby.
She has tattoos?
She does have tattoos all over,
That's what I
especially
thought.
like full back piece
I
of
think
orchids.
I think you showed me one time.
Yeah, she's beautiful. It's just her birthday party, and we were
Right.
Yeah, right by Riverside Market, as a matter of fact.
That's where she lives?
No, that's where the birthday party was. Right there, on the water, one of those houses with
Of course. Oh, well.
docks
hey.
and the yachts.
Wow.
And,
Yeah. Fantastic.
Not me, her.
Okay, well.
And meanwhile, back to alcohol.
Back to alcohol and good beer. We want to talk to Chris Dickerson now. He's the South Florida rep for Big Storm Brewing, and he's here in studio. We want to thank him for being here. And if I want to check it out, what's some of the things going on? We're going to get into festivals or Facebook, or what's the best place to find you, and what's the kind of updates we see?
Well, we've been in a couple of festivals recently. We're kind of at a lull right now. Festivals in South Florida, they kind of take the summer off for the most part. Yeah. We were at the Brew at the Zoo down in Miami.
How did it go? Talk to me about the Latin influence. Did they like the beers?
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. People were really excited about different beers.
Mm-hmm.
That festival has mostly been the bigger breweries, so they were excited to see some local representation.
Nice.
And they were almost as excited to see us as they were Vanilla Ice.
Really? Well, I don't blame him. Vanilla Ice is really cool.
He was pretty amazing.
I think he's got a full back tattoo as well.
And not only that,
It's like an ice cream pop or
he
something.
like builds houses now or something, doesn't he?
I don't know. I think
he does. He has a
maybe
show
he's
on
working at construction
HGTV
soon.
or one of those.
He's working out in Weston or something.
He's like rehabbing like homes out in Weston. Yeah,
He's
exactly.
gonna have his own internet reality show soon. George, you can't see if you can get him on SoFlo Radio.
Is he working with Habitat for Inhumanity? Or something?
Oh.
I am
He's
not
waiting
gonna
all
lie.
day for that joke, folks.
The guy put on a
Did
great
you
show.
that
No, I always
Queen
liked-
song?
I love Vanilla Ice. I also like chocolate and orange cream.
Yeah, right. And shaved.
Shaved ice. Yes, it's the Italioso. So no, but you guys did the Brew at the Zoo. Well received.
Yeah, we were at Sprung as well earlier in the
Sprung,
spring.
that's
So we're going to participate in
Tony Albiero, or his name is. He's a good guy.
Absolutely, we're going to
Good guy.
participate in as many as we can.
Yeah.
Get the word out there. Some are better than others. As far as
Now, do you're South Florida rep? Do you do just Stevens footprints? But you're down into like
No, I go from Vero Beach through Key West.
Okay, so you work with mostly Bud distributors.
Yes.
Or you're Brown in the north.
We are not with Brown. We actually
Oh.
have a little gap in our coverage right now.
Okay, so
But we're with Southern Eagle.
Southern
Stevens,
Eagle,
Double
Stevens.
Eagle,
How far?
Eagle Brands.
Okay, so Eagle Brands. How far up do they go? Is basically as far as you want. Or?
Southern Eagle?
No, Southern Eagle's Miami and Key West.
No,
right?
Southern Eagle is up in the Treasure Coast.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
so
so they
that's
go to-
your
up to
Treasure
Vero.
Coast. Okay, great. So you have Southern Eagle, and then Double Eagle takes over where they leave
Yep.
up, and then on down through Stevens and
Eagle Brands.
Eagle Brands. Great. So that's good. It's nice. It's nice to see some of the Bud distributors embracing a local craft brand.
Yeah, I think they're really excited to have Big Storm, in their house because it gives them just one more option to, sell the locals.
No, they
Everybody's
seem-
looking for locals right now.
Yeah, no, it's very hot. I think that the local play, the interesting thing about it is it's kind of fresh and fun all the time. You go up to the taps, you see something new, and you're drinking it. It's something interesting.
And it's not platinum or anything,
It's not. It certainly ain't your fortune future.
No.
Find your fortune, baby. Find it with a local beer. That's great. It's interesting that he works with honey so much. I should have asked Bishop what his views on mead are, because there's a couple of meads that want to come into the state. We know Brady Dahlhofer. He's a great
Bee Nectar.
guy.
They
Bee
got
Nectar's
great
phenomenal
stuff.
but it's so damn expensive.
It is very expensive.
It kind of almost works itself out. I know that they can't produce it for cheap, but it's. I want to talk to Ed about this. I mean, how much could you really sell of mead in South Florida? I mean, how much does it sell? I was talking to Julian over at the Riverside Market. He's like, look, man. He's like, I got one that's an $8 bottle, a 22. Cheapest one he's got, and it sells. It's a Woodchuck product, believe it or not. And I didn't know Woodchuck made mead, but
Neither.
pretty interesting stuff.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of meads. I think it actually fits Florida pretty well.
It
Just
does.
a matter of getting people
Not
to
like
pay
a
for
rye
it.
beer, but
No, not like rye beers. Nobody likes rye beers.
Did you hear this?
Dude,
Did you hear this? Nobody likes rye beer. George, rye beer fan?
I don't know if I've ever had a rye.
Exactly. Thank you very much. It proves my point.
I'm a noob. I'm a beer noob. Not like you
I don't
beer
know, man.
beer
We're
geeks.
We're just busting your chops, man.
I don't.
Come on, we're
I
filling
don't-
up
I don't
5
look-
minutes here.
I don't look at it as like I'm drinking for Florida.
Yeah,
I'm drinking
anyway.
for everybody.
I'd like to say thank you to everybody involved, definitely. Big Storm Brewing, Chris Dickerson, Mike Bishop, Ed Roberts for putting it all together. Please drive responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Enjoy everything responsibly. Don't overconsume. And get out there and get yourself a Big Storm. Thanks so much to Rob, Daily Beer Review, Resident Beer Guy coming in. And, of course, every one of you out there, we love you. Come back and see us every Thursday at 6 on SoFlo Radio and BuyTheGlassShow.com. Check out my website. Got over 200 shows there for your entertainment, from your auditory entertainment. So, yes, and we'll catch you soon. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And to everybody out there, we love you guys.
We love you too, man.
Broadcasting from the heart of downtown Hollywood. This is SoFloRadio.com.